Yo, what's up? It's your boy, I Know Mercy, the Mad Hatter, and how about the Warcraft trailer, huh? The Warcraft movie has been rumored and flowing around for a couple years now, but we now have a definitive trailer showing us exactly what the movie is going to look like and what it's basically going to be about. And for the longest time, I didn't give a shit. Uh, I've never really been into strategy games, so and even if I had been, Warcraft was really popular in the I think early to mid '90s. That's kind of before I really got into gaming as much as I am now, and I never played the World of Warcraft. Just never really had much interest in it. I also never really had much interested in MMOs in general. They just always seemed like huge grind fests. I'd say the only MMO I ever really genuinely considered playing was Terra, and that's mostly because of the combat system was seemed really interesting, and the character designs. Not gonna lie, the sort of skimpy, revealing outfits of the female characters, especially the catatonic race. But Warcraft, and I was debating getting Guild Wars 2, but I never did. But whatever. But Warcraft, never got into it. Don't really know anything about it, story wise at least. I know there's humans and orcs and magic and a bunch of other races that apparently aren't going to be in this movie. Um, this isn't World of Warcraft movie. It's a Warcraft movie, so it's going to be humans versus orcs, or well, not human versus orcs. I do like this in the Warcraft lore that um, that orcs aren't like the orcs from say Lord of the Rings, where they're just these evil, bloodthirsty, like this side of mindless monsters. Well, honestly, no. They're not even in Lord of the Rings. They're not really mindless. They are. They do have minds. They have a society, and everything like that. But nothing in Lord of the Rings really humanizes the orcs or the Uruk-hai in in Lord of the Rings proper. And honestly, a lot of Tolkien-esque stories kind of do the same thing. They don't really humanize the orcs all that much. They're just things you have to kill in order to fight whatever big thing they're working for, or get whatever treasure they're guarding, or whatever. They're just things you kill. That's all orcs really are in most games. Um, I don't know how it is in the original Warcraft, but obviously orcs in World of Warcraft are a playable race, and there's a society. You can side with the orcs, you can sympathize with the orcs, all that sort of stuff, and they're doing that with this movie, which I think is good. Um, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the actual story, which honestly I kind of like, which is kind of good. The trailer, it doesn't give you that much. It tells you it shows you what the movie's gonna look like. It shows you the basic landscape, and it gives you a general idea of what's going on. You see the two heroes of the movie, a human knight and an orc soldier. I think it's and both are characterized well. They both seem equally heroic and stuff like. And as far as I can tell, the basic plots of Warcraft is um, there's something going on with the orcs. Like I don't know if the hero orc is part of this tribe that splintered off from the main orc society, and the main orc society is still trying to kill the humans because orcs and humans don't like each other for whatever reason. Um, like I'm sure they'll get into the actual vendetta between humans and orcs in the actual movie, but like that's basically what you need to know. Humans and orcs don't like each other, but this orc tribe led by this one orc, he wants to um, he wants to have a peace treaty with the humans so that the fighting will end. And in some lines that I actually like in the trailer from the orc side is this one orc is telling the hero orc, we're orcs. Our life is our life is warfare, and the hero orc says, "Well, it doesn't have to be." It's a good thing in there. Like, yeah, we're orcs, we're monsters, or well, not monsters, but we're orcs. We're warriors. We fight, we kill. That's what we do. But maybe we don't have. But maybe we don't have to. Maybe we can live in peace with the humans and not have to kill and not try and kill each other all the fucking time. Like, I don't know if there's some larger threats or if the hero orcs tribe and the humans are going, and the human heroes group, I guess, are going to be working together to fight off these other orcs who are complete assholes and want to kill both the humans and this subgroup of orc. And apparently there's an orc Moses. I don't know. I think his name's Thrall or something like that. Like I said, I know nothing about Warcraft's lore. I've read a couple of comments in the video. I read a couple of the video comments on YouTube, and people were saying stuff like the orc baby that was sent down the river was this character named Thrall or something like that, and everyone was calling him Orc Moses, which, I mean, he's a baby in a bassinet being sent down a river, so yeah. I really like the design of the orcs, I will say that. They look really good. Obviously CG, mostly CG, but I think they're using the same sort of technology that the Ninja Turtles movie did. They're using real life actors but in mocap suits and sort of mocapping the orc around the actor, and that's good. I really like it when they use as much practical effects in a movie as possible. Obviously, considering this is a Warcraft movie, you're gonna have to use a shit ton of CG, but when you can get away with practical, I always appreciate it. And like I said, the look of the orcs are really good. They're a fuck ton better looking than the turtles were. I mean, the turtles actually look like they were there, I'll give them that, but just the designs of the turtles themselves was awful. The designs of the orcs I really like. I even really like the looks of the female orcs. In real talk, there aren't some bad looking orcs in this movie. I think this one orc gets into a relationship with a human soldier. She wasn't bad looking, even with the tusks. And obviously, the orcs and the humans have been fighting probably for fucking decades, generations, centuries, maybe even. So there's going to be a lot of hostility between the humans and the orcs, and there's going to be humans who are assholes to the orcs, just because they've always been assholes to the orcs, even though they're trying to help them now. And like I always appreciate that sort of thing. It's not political exactly, but it's showing you that this is a I guess a growing world. Like once the movie ends, this world is gonna keep going. Even if there aren't any more movies, this world is going to keep going. And I always like movies like that where you have the sense that even after the credits roll, this world keeps growing in some fashion. Kind of deviating away from something that's actually always been that's been on my mind for a while. And something I want to make a video about, but I'm not sure if I'm ever going to, is Dragon's Dogma. I like to think it kind of ties into this because they're both medieval fantasy type games. But one thing I always really hated about Dragon's Dogma, aside from the pawn system, I really don't like the pawn system, is how this is the basic story of Dragon's Dogma. The premise of Dragon's Dogma is amazing. It's great. This dragon comes down, attacks your village, it tears out your heart. For some reason, you're still alive, and the only reason to figure out why is to face the dragon. Um, on premise alone, Dragon's Dogma is really like I would give my money to Dragon's Dogma just on premise alone, and I did. But the actual story of Dragon's Dogma is really awful in my opinion. And I think the one thing I hated most about Dragon's Dogma is how it ended, and I guess my personal interpretation of how the story ends and its overall meaning. I kind of get the feeling that Dragon's Dogma works on a cycle, like what? Because the thing is, when you beat the game, you have to start over again. Like there's like in a lot of RPGs after you beat the game, there's a free roam mode where you can just keep exploring and leveling up and finishing quests and exploring more of the world. First of all, Gratis is surprisingly small. Like there's not that much world to actually explore. And the second you beat the game, it starts over again, and you have to play it all through again. You still have all of your abilities and stat points and everything like that from your previous playthrough. But if you beat the game again, then the arisen you played with through the first time is the final boss, and it just seems like the world of Dragon's Dogma doesn't go anywhere. Like it's just stuck in this ever repeating cycle, and that's what and honestly that's what I hated most about it. That it seems like you can't really do you can do a sequel to it obviously, but it seems like the world of Dragon's Dogma never grows. It just stays in this repeating cycle of an arisen being chosen and fighting the dragon and dealing with the consequences of that, and yeah. uh, but Warcraft, it's obviously we haven't seen it yet. Fuck, I actually forgot when it was coming out. I think it's coming out. It's coming out sometime next year. I know that, but I think it's either spring or summer of next year. Yeah, I think it's summer of next year. So yeah, it's sometime before we actually watch it. But I'm just saying, from what I can see, it seems like the world is gonna keep growing after the movie ends. Even if it doesn't get any sequels, it seems like the type of story where once the credits end, the world is gonna keep going even without the audience watching it. Kind of like Lord of the Rings, where it's clear. 13 minutes. This is going long. This is going longer than I originally planned. Where it was clear that things were going to keep happening in Middle Earth once the story we were following ends, because you have these characters who are going to keep going even after you close the proverbial book. I get the same feeling we're gonna have that. I think we're gonna have the same feeling, or at least I'm gonna have the same feeling when Warcraft ends, and I am gonna see Warcraft. I do want to see it. And honestly, I kind of want to go back and play some of the old Warcraft games. Again, I'm not really big into real time strategy, but um, if the lore is good, I'm willing to go through something I'm not particularly fond of. Although there is admittedly, one thing kind of keeping me from getting into Warcraft's lore, and that is Guild Grumps. If you watch Game Grumps, you might remember that a couple months ago, Ross had the idea to have Aaron, Danny, Susie, and Barry try this thing that the latest or at the time the latest Warcraft, World of Warcraft expansion did was giving you the opportunity to boost a new character to 90, level 90, which is just 10 points, 10 levels away from the new level cap of 100. And I like Guild Grumps personally because, in a sick kind of way, it's fun seeing other people be miserable. uh, but in the first episode, Ross was trying to explain to the other four Worldcraft's lore, and it seemed really fucking stupid. Like there was, I think there were aliens and space goats or demon goats or all sorts of stupid shit. And like looking at this, it seems like the lore is going to be really, really basic Tolkien-esque medieval fantasy lore. But then I remember Ross. But then I remember Ross is kind of an idiot, but I would imagine that he would know something about he would know the basic lore of Warcraft. I think he's been playing it for a while, but it's just I'm interested, but I'm also skeptical of Warcraft's lore, I guess is what I'm saying. I should probably do some research myself before I actually think about buying anything. I am going to see this movie, though. I will say that. That's the basic thing about this. That's the basic thing about this video. I really like the trailer. I'm really interested in seeing it. I want to see this movie. I'm somewhat interested in Warcraft now. Like, I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna I'm actually gonna sit down and play it. I might. I don't know. But yeah, that's about it. I've been rambling a lot longer than I originally intended to. This is probably gonna be a really boring. This is probably gonna be a really boring vlog because I'm not like screaming or swearing a lot or going off on any. I did go off on a tangent, but it was a boring tangent. I'm really sorry. All right. Mind no mercy. I'll see y'all later.